Hey everyone, it's me Lemiwinks again, and this is going to be the last video I'm making for the Extreme Design contest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about what some of these parts have let me do with this build, which I haven't been able to do before, and some of the cool things you can do here with the parts as far as the dual monitor setup goes. Now for anyone who hasn't used a dual monitor setup before, it's actually pretty awesome. See, what you can do here is the two displays are individual from each other. So if you open up a window or anything, you can actually take it from one window and drag it onto the other one, just to place wherever you go. It really makes productivity easier. You can have notes on one side, work on a paper on another, all sorts of stuff. Or say you're browsing the internet, right? Pull up Firefox here. So I've got it full screen over here in this window. With Windows 7 here, which all this hardware works great with, I can actually just pull that window up and then move it over to the other one and full screen it over here. Or say that I just have one tab that I want to move and not all the things I have open. You can actually just pull one of these and pull it out, and it makes it its own window, and then I can just use that on another monitor too. So I think that's pretty awesome. Now that's basically some of the cool things you can do with dual monitors. The best thing about these for the, what I have set up here is I get my 3D Vision gaming in on this one here to the left, which is really great for me, and that higher refresh rate makes games look a lot smoother, because you're actually seeing with this monitor from Samsung here actual 120 frames displayed on your monitor instead of 60 a second because of the refresh rate. Now, to talk about some of the components here, and what they've let me do, this Antec power supply down here in the base has been really awesome for me, because with the SLI setup, it actually has enough cables to do all my PCI connections without using adapters. And that keeps your cabling looking a lot nicer and a lot cleaner. And also the length of all the cables let me go. And if you can see, they come through a hole in the base, and they all route behind the motherboard to connect into the 24-pin, the graphics, the 8-pin for the CPU. So the extra cable length that this had was a big help there. The Samsung solid-state drive, which you can see I've situated down there, is ridiculously fast. I mean, I was running two server-class regular drives in RAID 0 on my old machine, and this one by itself is faster than both of those. Not to mention the benchmark I posted where I proved that it actually beat out the low-end solid states very easily. You can see I have both two ASUS GTX 260 there in SLI, and the graphics power I get from them is absolutely ridiculous. The on-off switch is actually the best thing about this here on the motherboard there. That's actually how I turn this computer on and off. I just reach in there and push it. So there's actually no power on-off switch in this entire case, which I think is pretty awesome. As you can tell too, underneath that heatsink, you can't see it, there's the Intel Core i7. That thing is blazing fast and ridiculous, and I would definitely say that's one of the better processors I've ever used in my life, if not the best. That G-Skill RAM, which you can kind of get a view on in there, is also ridiculously awesome. I mean, there's 4 gigs of it. It's enough for you to do what you need and get it all done without having to ever hit a bottleneck, and it's also ridiculously fast. And then the most important part, of course, is the motherboard underneath all that, which is, again, provided by ASUS. And that motherboard allowed me to plug in all the things I needed to plug in there. I even plugged in an extra wireless card in here, if you can see it. And that thing works really awesome. And then, of course, all those sponsors that made this possible, I mean, just thank you. Because, if nothing else, you guys got to admit, that's pretty awesome looking for a computer. I'm so glad I even got the opportunity to build it. So thank you again, ASUS, G-Skill, NVIDIA, Antec, Samsung, Intel, Razer for the awesome mouse and keyboard that I now have to go with this new computer instead of the old ones I was using, and of course the nice Samsung monitors there, for just making this even possible for me in the first place. I mean, for a regular guy like me to be able to do this is absolutely mind-blowing. So once again, that's the last video I'm going to make for the Extreme Design contest. I hope you all have enjoyed looking at my entry, and I hope it all came out to what you guys were expecting. And I'm really proud of it myself. So worst case scenario, I've got one amazing computer now, thanks to all the folks at ASUS and all the other sponsors who made this contest possible.